Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades and the weekly recap. Before I get into the recap, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, this week I had 14 trades, 14 wins and no losses, so I had a 100% win rate this week. First week of January, first week of 2023. I couldn't have asked for a better week to have for the first week of the year. So 100%, definitely very, very pleased about that. Now, you can't expect every week to be 100% because that's unrealistic, and no one is 100% all the time. If they are, they're probably doing something illegal or very sketchy. So anyways, now Monday we had off because of New Year's. So we had Tuesday the 3rd, we had in the trade ideas room SPY put under 383.50, which is right here. Let me blow this up. 383.50 is right here, the pre-market low. Well, yeah, this low right here. And it didn't even pull up my Twitter page to get the trades up. I am definitely behind the ball today, so please bear with me. Let's see, the 3rd, where are you? Now, on the 3rd, I took SPY puts at 946. I took the 38.50 puts. First candle was green. Was a huge fake out. It just popped up and it kept going to close to pre-market high, the 386. Then it dropped back down, and this is where I grabbed it. I grabbed it right at 946. I probably let's see exactly where I did grab it. I'm not quite sure. Just 3 days. Yeah, this is 3 days. I'm gonna have to go to 4th. Okay. Let's see. This is the dump right here. I got it at what time? 946. So I got a right here, right in here, right at this low of 383, actually 394, 384, sorry. So we go back to 10 minute. I don't look at any time frame except the 10 minute. I'm only dropping down to smaller time frames so you guys can see. So I got it at 384. So right when it broke below, probably underneath body of this candle, probably closer to down here. Anyways, I had the 38.50 puts at 980, and they went from 980 to 28 to 25.60, 100% move if y'all all the way through. Best area to grab. You could have grabbed it in 2 areas right here. One, you could have stuck with the original 383.50 or the bottom of this wick of this candle, or you could have gone underneath the body of this candle, not the actual wick. So either or you could have done. I mean, this either way, it's actually pretty safe because you just blow this up a little more. You have a pretty big wick right here that's from 384.40 to that's almost an 80-cent wick right there, and this candle right here is just huge. It's about 386 to it's almost a $3 candle right there. So yeah, you could have grabbed it right here, the low of this wick, or underneath the body because it had such a huge range because it had a green and it popped up and came back down. I mean, this probably would have been a more ideal place to take it, but you could have taken it down here too. So either or, good play on that. So then I took puts again at 1113, which is right here. You have this massive dump, pop back up. Didn't quite get to the 20 EMA, which is the blue line. So I did take it when it broke through this area right here. I took the 38.05 puts at 830, and then we went from 830 to 1050. So you get up a $1.20 plus move right there. So that's a nice little play. Then I switched to calls at 111, which is right here. Yeah, right here. No, right here I grabbed it. I see why I grabbed it here. You get it consolidated a little bit, faked out, drop more, taken out, because probably the right here calls jumped in, and they flushed out the stops right here. They came back up, so I kind of grabbed it right in this area, right above 379. I got the 3805 calls at 840, and they went from 840 to 1250 in that push up to the 20 EMA, which is the blue line. So I got a nice little play on that. Then on let's see, Wednesday we had FOMC. I don't usually like to touch FOMC. I mean, before FOMC, because usually it's choppy, but it's been actually the last few FOMC days haven't been really choppy at all. They actually had some volatility, so kind of surprised about that. So, but this time I did take one play before FOMC. I probably could have taken a couple. I just been like trying to avoid it until FOMC because lately it's been, I mean, typically it's really choppy, but lately it hasn't been. So sometimes I just like to just wait to FOMC, because also if I trade before FOMC and I take a couple losses, I'm very reluctant to play FOMC, so I'd rather not take any chances. The real play of the day is FOMC, and I don't want to take any losses before then. But I did take calls, trade at Israel on the 4th. I said buy calls over 383.50, which is pre-market high. I kind of rounded up. So I took calls at 937 right when it broke up right out. I didn't even wait the first 10-minute candle, which I usually do. And I didn't. I took the 38.70 calls at 940, and they went from 940 to 1020. Then it just got slopped down. So did get a little bit of a play, and I just stopped. I mean, I could have taken this right here. This was news. This was a news candle. We had news this day. I don't remember what it was. JOLTS report, I think. Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it was. I think that the JOLTS jobs reports came out good, which is typically very bad for the market, and the market just really liked it for some reason. So it's kind of just what a crazy day it was. If that was even the day, I don't remember. I don't think I can go back. Yeah, I can go back. What was the day? Wednesday in the morning at 10 a.m. It was the manufacturing PMI and JOLTS report. So yeah, the PMI was bad, which should have sent the market down, and the job openings was good, which should have sent the market down too. So you had two reasons for the market to dump. And it didn't, so it is what it is. So didn't trade until FOMC. Then FOMC, I took, let's see, the strangle play, which I always do, the 38.50 puts at 770 and the 38.75 calls. Now the puts went from 770 to 1870, and the calls went from $7. They did go to like $9, because I remember when I was playing it, I tried to get out. I couldn't. I don't think it touched $9, or if I did, it didn't quite touch it fast enough for me to get out or something. I don't remember what it was. I actually think that after I saw 9 printed, I tried to get out at 9 right when I saw it print, and I couldn't get out. I couldn't sell any of it. So usually with FOMC, these are the best days. These days without Powell, because the puts and calls, I get right at the money, and the smallest change, smallest drop or pop will send them 100%. I mean, look at the puts. We dropped from what 385 to 382.50. We dropped what $2.50, and they went 100% just in that $2.50, which is crazy. And that's why I actually prefer FOMC without Powell, because when it's Powell speaking, the IV has been through the roof, and you're playing a 100-point spread, 150-point spread, and you need a massive move to even get 100%. You would need like a $5, $6 move just to even get 100%, because you're so far out of the money. And when it does rage like that, IV just starts cutting in half, and you get crushed by IV and lack of volatility if there isn't any on that. So, or not enough volatility. So that's why I like the FOMC days without Powell, because you just get at the money. I think they actually pay better, but. Usually the first move's the wrong one. This time it dumped, so we got the puts, and I held the calls, and then I ended just stopping out on them. So it was a good FOMC play. I mean, I probably could have played it better, but finished green. I'm not going to complain about that. Then I did take puts at the end of the day at 336, which is right here, right here for some reason. I took it 336. Yeah, I took puts right here. I took the 3830 puts at 450, and they went from 450 to 540. Not much of a play in, so I kind of like green on the day, obviously because they're all winners. But I didn't really play FOMC that good. I mean, I could have done a couple things different, a couple things better, but it is what it is. And usually when you get a drop, you'll get the pop, or you get the pop then the drop. It's been kind of tough FOMC lately. So hopefully the next one, I don't know when that is, but I'm sure Powell's going to be there, and it's going to be an insane insane thing to do. So play now on the 5th, which is Thursday. Trade ideas room. SPY puts in a 381, which is right here at the lower day, pre-market low. I didn't take it right at open. Oh, because of other things that we were working on, that we have pre-market plays that we've been watching. So that's why I didn't take that. But I did take puts at 1023, which is this candle right here. Right when it pushed through VWAP down underneath 380, I grabbed a 3,800 puts at $7. They went to 7 to 850. Then I grabbed calls at 1145, which is right here. You can see it dropped down, came back up. I grabbed it right at 1145, probably closer to VWAP, probably closer up to the 380 area. Then it dropped down. 379 has been holding. Every time it gets down to the bottom of this channel, it's just been holding. So I added 1159. So I mean, I bought it up here. It dropped down. Then it came back up. So I actually bought down here, down at the low of the day. Yeah, for some reason I thought I bought this red candle. No, I bought down here. So I initially bought in this candle up here. Then when it dropped, I added more. So I had the 3820 calls at 760. Added more at 470, making my average 565, and it popped, and I sold into this pop. So it went from 565 to 8. Then it just been staying in this range. Then it finally popped right here. So I did take calls at, I took the same ones at 3820 calls at 1231, which is right here. So yeah, I bought here, and I added here, sold into this. When I dropped back down, I think I bought 1231, though I actually bought closer up here, right through VWAP. Right here is where I got it. Got the 3820 calls again at 680, and they went from 680 to 890 in that little push right there. You can see the wick through VWAP. Then it quickly got slapped back down. Then I grabbed the same calls, the 3820 calls again at 121, which is right here. And this is where they went from 650 to 1340, and that finally had a strong push through VWAP, and it finally broke out of this little channel. To me, it kept getting bought under 379, and it kept flirting with the VWAP. So rejected here, and we got through it, rejected harsh, and it came through. So when it got through it again here, it just had a nice strong push. So when it's choppy, you don't know which time it's going to break out, which time it's going to continue chopping. That's just how it is. And that's why when I saw it chopping in here, instead of me adding up here, I took the chance and added down here, because I did it with the idea, if it stays in this dollar range of 379 to 380, that if I average down here, I should be able to get out green up here, and that's what I did. And then it's been chopping for so long, so I thought this was actually the time it was going to pop and keep going, but it just popped and dropped. But we were able to get out, have a nice little play on that, but it still stayed above the 379, and then it finally pushed. So you just don't know when the chop is going to, how long it's going to be and when it's going to be popped. But the more it tests an area, the more likely it's going to break it. So if it stays in a range for a very, very long time, it's going to end up popping out of it sooner or later. I mean, look at SPY's range. It's been sticking in the 388 to the 379, this $10 range or $9 range for weeks since mid-December. So this thing is really, really due to make a massive breakout, but we're going to cover that in the watch list. So 4 wins on Thursday. Nice little day. I'm not going to complain about that. We had some good plays. Then on Friday, let's see, Friday, traded his room. SPY calls over 384, which is right here, pre-market high. We had news. Jeez, I can't remember what the news was, but anyways, yeah, we had news. It dropped down. I waited for the first 10-minute candle to form. After the first 10-minute candle formed, I grabbed puts at the lower day because of the red candle. We shot up and it got sold off. What was it? What was the news? I have to look at the news to see what it was. It was non-farm unemployment change, unemployment rate, which was the unemployment rate was up, was actually going down, and unemployment was up quite a bit. So, yeah, the market should have it popped, but it should have actually dumped because of the unemployment numbers and stuff like that. The unemployment rates. Oh, that's Canada I'm looking at. Yeah, the hourly earnings dropped, non-farm employment change popped, unemployment rate popped, was better. So that's why that popped up. Then when market opened, it just started selling off, but it put in that red candle, like I said, and when it did, I grabbed the puts on the next 10-minute candle, the next lower day right here underneath the 381, grabbed the 3800 puts at 850, and then went from 850 to 1370 in that place. So that ended up doing well. And it held previous day's close, which is this white line. So it did hold that. I did switch to calls at 1035, which is right here. It dropped, came back up. I didn't want to chase it here. It pulled back, and see when it made this nice little red candle pull back here, and then actually shot back up to higher day again. That's when I grabbed the calls. I grabbed the 3860 calls at 890, and then went from 890 to 1770 if he held all the way through. I don't want to chase this and have it go straight through higher day because, yeah, it can, but to me, I think the better play was to wait for it to pull back, and when it pulled back right here, this is where I took it, because when you keep having this strong move straight up, I mean, eventually it's going to pull back a little bit. To me, I like when it has a strong move and it has a pullback, then you just buy the new higher day. That's definitely a lot safer than just chasing these big, massive green candles, because you could have bought right here and you could have stopped out right here very, very easily, or it could have gone back to lower day just as easily. So when it did have this strong move out, pull back, and that's when I grabbed that. So and then I grabbed calls again at 135, which is right. No, I didn't grab it right there. 135 right here. 135. Right here is where I grabbed it. Right when it broke over the 386 50 area. That's where I grabbed the 3875 calls at 770, and they went from 730, I mean, to 1240 in that push up here. Then I took calls again at 341, which is right here, right in here. I took the 3900 calls at $5. You can see this wick right here. I got it here because it dropped. And sometimes SPY, what it likes to do is, lately, traditionally in the past, when you have a really strong green day, especially on a Friday, you can always count on a dump end of day. Profit takers, people just selling before the weekend because anything can happen. People don't like swinging over the weekend. But lately, sometimes when SPY has these long, really strong moves, it will start to look like it's a little weak at the end of day. Then it will just keep pushing. So that's what I was thinking. It dropped and it came back up. This is where I grabbed it. Took the 3900 calls at 5, and then went from 5 to 6, and just took it because it just, for some reason, when I first took it, I remember when I was playing it that I got it at 5, then it dropped down to like 4 and under $4, and it popped back up to 5. It kept flirting with the $5 range a few times. So when it actually popped over $5 and went to 6, I ended up selling it because these last 10-15 minute plays, theta just will destroy everything really fast if you don't take it. So I took it. So with that said, my voice is starting to go. So anyways, that was the end of the day play on Friday. That was the last play of the week. Great week. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I couldn't have asked for a better week to start 2023 than a flawless week. So hopefully next week will be just as good. Probably won't have another 100% week. I don't think I've ever had 200% back to back, but I'm not even gonna look at that. So anyways, that's gonna do it for the recaps. Thanks for watching.